All right, my next guest is a guy who's been on this program a number of times. He travels a lot to, well, to some unsavory places, to say the least. He's been spending a lot of time recently in Lebanon. And I had a chance to talk to Todd Wood here at the Pentagon a couple of days ago. We were there getting our passes and getting access to the Pentagon, which is nice. He joins me now. Todd, nice to have you back on the program.
Great to see you, Steve. Looking good, man.
Great to see you. Look, here's the thing. We were talking about this because the persecution of Christians in Lebanon is real. It's been going on for decades. And America seems to turn a blind eye to it. And I said to you, well, why is Nigeria, getting threats from the Trump administration to stop killing Christians or else? And Lebanon's basically ignored. And you said, because there's minerals in Nigeria, things of value. Is it really that simple?
Unfortunately, I think it is. Lebanon, and I've learned a lot about the place in the last year because I've been there many times, especially Beirut and the surrounding areas. It's the original Christian country. Christ walked in southern Lebanon. I spent time with a woman in hiding from Syria who was, her family was killed in a village, the last village that spoke Aramaic. And she recorded the Lord's Prayer to me in Aramaic, the language of Christ. And I just found it stunning that the U.S. government is not even talking about this. Syria, the first thing Golani did when he got into Syria, which the U.S. government supported, he's been to the White House, was kill a few thousand Christians in southern Lebanon. We're not talking about it. And my point is the White House needs to use the bully pulpit to protect the Christian community in the Middle East, Iraq, Lebanon, Syria, etc.
Aramaic, it's fascinating. That's the original language of the Bible. It's what it was written in originally. Very few people have the skill to understand it, read it, or to recite a prayer. That's pretty impressive. So Lebanon's still about 40% Christian, from what I learned from you in our conversation. What are they up against? You say you feel pretty safe when you go there, at least to the Christian areas. What would happen if you travel outside those Christian areas?
Well, I was there in August, and a gentleman, a journalist, was down in the Shia sector and took the pictures of something, and he was immediately detained and arrested and released a week later. But that's when they took me up to the convent on the hills above Lebanon in Beirut, and for safety reasons. So I spent a week with a bunch of nuns, which was fantastic. The food was fantastic, very peaceful place. But you don't want to stray outside the areas. It's the ultimate diverse state, and they say if you want to see how diversity fails in the end, look at Lebanon, because it's completely dysfunctional. The financial system has collapsed. We can go into why that is, but it is pretty safe for a Christian in the Christian sector.
But outside of, so basically, you're describing two countries in one. You have the Christian section and the Muslim section. And
well,
never shall the two meet.
It's worse than that. It's the Sunnis, the Christians, the Shia. So it's really a three-part state. And weirdly enough, the Shia were the only ones protecting the Christians in the civil war in Syria. So it's really complicated, really a mess. And the U.S. government, Tom Barrack this morning, Trump's envoy to the Middle East, came out and said, you know what, the Turks are doing great. We want to get closer to the Turks. And again, he's being Sunni, focused. Why is that? Is it the money? Is it the Gulf states? Is it Turkey as part of a NATO partner? And I'm not saying I want military action in the Middle East for the Christians, but I just want people to put the Christians first. That's it.
And at least recognize that they're being targeted and marginalized. I mean, what was the Christian population in Lebanon, say, 50 years ago?
Well, in the early 70s, it was 70%. They had a very strong Christian, and then they still do have a Christian form of government. The presidency has to be a Christian. I don't know all the political ins and outs, but it's been a series of events that have destabilized Lebanon and the Christian community intentionally, I believe. There were 500,000 Palestinians brought in, caused a civil war. Then you had the Sunni, the Assad regime invade with the acquiescence of H.W. Bush in the Gulf War. That was a 15-year occupation. You had color revolution in 19 pushed by Soros, which destroyed the financial sector. You had the bomb go off in the Christian sector in the port. And now you got 2 million Sunni refugees from Syria there that don't want to go back because the UN's paying them to stay there. I mean, this is intentional in my view. This doesn't happen over and over and over again unless you want to destroy the only Christian state in the world, in that region, I should say.
Well, in that region, sure.
Yeah.
So the path forward, you say it's complicated. It seems to me like it's impossible. And unless somebody from the United States weighs in, it's going to continue to be ignored. Nobody else is paying attention. The UK, France, the nations of Europe, they've got their own problems. Nobody else is paying attention. It looks like well, I don't like the word, but it looks like a bleak future.
It does, but it's been that way for a long time. And you look at the Armenian genocide. This has been going on for 100 years. The Armenians were pushed down into the Syrian desert in a death march. 150,000 out of 2 million survived, and they have populated the Beirut and Lebanon areas as well. So these literally are the original Christian. The apostolic church was built here. The apostles went up into Lebanon, into Syria, into Turkey, Armenia, and built the original church. And so the people are telling me, look, this is where Christ walked. We want our roots to stay here. It's important for humanity, and I'm trying to get the word out for them.
And I think that's important. So now you have access to the Pentagon, as we were discussing. That's where we haven't seen each other in some time. But now you have access to ask questions. Is this going to be one of the things you focus on when the people at the podium say, hey, what about Lebanon?
Excuse me. Yes, I am. And I'm not being paid by any of these guys. I'm just concerned about the Christian, excuse me, the Christian community. So, yes, I'm going to be focused on this issue.
Let me ask you one other thing. I'm off topic here. I'm just curious what your reaction is to the pipe bomber being, the alleged pipe bomber being arrested. Doesn't fit any of the narratives that the left would want you to believe. It's been almost 5 years, and suddenly you have a new administration. Within a few months, they've brought a guy in that I think probably could have been caught years ago, but maybe I'm just a cynic. What was your reaction?
I'm with you. It's hard for me to believe anything coming out of our government these days. There's always a hidden agenda, and they don't even, it's kind of up in your grill, as they say. It's, to me,
Yeah.
it's obviously pushing some sort of agenda or narrative. And I'm skeptical of anything coming out. So I haven't had a chance to dig into that, but I will.
I appreciate it. Todd Wood, tell the folks where they can find you.
Yeah, CDM.press is our main site. If you check it a few times a day, we got news you're not going to get anywhere else. And I'm on Real L. Todd Wood on X. Thank you, Steve.
Todd, thank you. I always appreciate seeing Todd. He's out there. He puts himself out there to get stories that you're not going to hear anywhere else. And there it is. Lebanon, 40% Christian and the target of change, I suppose. At the Gruber home, we've used probably a dozen more powders, capsules, pills, everything you can think of, morning and night, but no more. Longevity. It's our all-in-one solution. It provides 25 grams of protein per serving, vitamins, minerals, collagen for muscles and joint health, DHA for brain health, probiotics for gut health, and colostrum for immune support. Not only that, it helps my kids with the strength they need for school and sports. It's helping me slim down a little bit. And my wife, who I think is perfect, by the way, says nothing else has done so much for her hair, skin, and nails. So it's good stuff. It really is. Take care of your family like we've been doing the same. LongevityWellness.co. Use the promo code Gruber. You'll save 25% on your order. 10% off your order today at longevity.co, promo code Gruber. You're going to love it. I do. It's like a shake. It's just the best. All right, we'll take a break and be right back. It is the Steve Gruber Show.